Sunny skies here in Wildwood as we've got Game 2 of the Southern Cape Classic, the Strikeout Cancer Classic from Maxwell Field. It's the CCTS Warriors and the Middle Township Panthers here on this Sunday afternoon. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Brian Kniff on the call of Cape Atlantic Live. First game saw a competitive edge as Wildwood topped Lower Cape May by a score of 6-2. Ben Wilden is our producer this afternoon, and what we'll say is going into this game, Camden Tech, after beating their opponents yesterday in Middle Township, beating Wildwood for the seeding, they'll get the home team in the second game. But our starter for Middle Township, it will be the right-hander in Tommy Yarson. He comes into this game with 23 walks, 19 Ks, and a 6.27 ERA, but a 2.02 whip in 25 2/3 innings. And again, after Wildwood had a back-and-forth bout, 9-6 over Wildwood yesterday. We'll see how they fare as they'll look to punch their ticket to the final, as they'll maybe have a chance at facing Wildwood a second time in Game 3 of this triple-header. First pitch is upstairs, and we're underway. First pitch, 1:51 p.m.
This is Declan Connect leading off for Camden County Tech Warriors.
Connect fouls that one back. That was really close to going through the hole and hitting our camera as it's 1-1. Starting lineup for Galasso's CCTS Warriors. We'll see Declan Connect, the shortstop, Joey Shaw at second base. Pitcher is Johnny Larick, and Lorenzo Galarza is the left fielder in the cleanup spot. Jack McBride at third base, batting fifth. Jose Arroyo is the center fielder in the sixth slot. Elian Rodriguez, the freshman, bats seventh. After him, it'll be Charles Hoke in right field and Cole Adams behind the plate. One ball, two strikes to start. And Connect with a high chopper to third base. This one's picked up by McDonald. Throw to first. Connect lost his footing and face planted halfway down the line in kind of an out by default. As I don't know if you saw that, Brian, but I didn't catch all of it. Connect looked like he lost his footing.
Yeah, and you know what? It's unfortunate for him because the throw from the third baseman, Gavin McDonald, was high.
Yeah, there's a chance he could have beaten that out if he didn't lose his footing.
And Kyle Mick at first base had to jump in the air, come down, but obviously once Connect fell down, all Mick had to do was catch the baseball and step on first base.
Joey Shaw, the 5'7" senior, batting .333 in a swan song campaign, 16 for 48, 10 walks, 5 stolen bases, and a .458 slugging as he takes a strike called. He has hit safely in his last 9 games straight, dating back to April the 24th versus Gloucester Christian. Quite the distinction. As there's a fly ball, center field. This one's hit pretty well. Going to his left and making the play is Tommy Phillips in center field. And 2 quick outs for Yarson here in the top of the first. Yarson, for what his worth, the junior, as we said, came into this game with a 6.27 ERA. He'll also be leading off for Middle Township. And on the mound, he's appeared in 8 games this year, most recently May the 6th versus Holy Spirit. Strike called to Larick, so pitcher versus pitcher battle. Larick batting .372, 16 for 43. Popped up first base side. This one could be in play, and it will just run out of room, and it's quickly 0-2 to the 3-man Larick.
Yarson can be very effective when he's around the plate. Where he gets in trouble is with walking people. He has 23 walks in a little over 25 innings pitched. He's also hit 7 batters. But he does throw hard. He certainly has talent. And so far, he's been around the plate, got 2 quick outs.
5-3 ground out and a fly ball to center. And Larick goes the other way on a high pitch. It'll get over the head of Stocker in right field, and that will be a base hit out of the 3 slot. 2 strike, 2 out single to get Camden Tech on the board, at least in terms of the hit column.
I don't know if he would have caught it anyway. Stocker didn't get a great read off of that, Dan, because the ball came off the end of the bat.
Right.
You know, and that's a little tough to read. It was not the hardest line drive. And I don't know if he would have gotten it anyway, but he didn't get a great initial jump. And then once that happened, the ball was able to float over his head for the first hit of the game.
So the batter will be Lorenzo Galarza, the sophomore, batting .237, Was 0 for 5 in his freshman year, but 9 for 38 this year. He's had 3 extra base hits.
Camden County Tech is actually without a couple starters here today.
Yeah, we talked with Barry Galasso before. 2 middle infielders are out for, I believe, an academic honors presentation. Galarza ground ball to short. This one's picked up. Throw to first is in time, and the inning is over. So Mattiucci starts a 6-3 ground down, and all Tommy Yarson is responsible for is a base hit. The orange and white, the Panthers, will take the bat in the bottom of the first when we return. Your starter for CCTS on the mound is Johnny Lorick. For him this season, he's had 30 innings, 11 walks, 42 Ks, a 4.67 ERA, and a 1.8 whip as he'll step in versus Tommy Yarson, the leadoff man and the pitcher for Middle Township. Their lineup, again, starting lineups here in the bottom of the first inning. It'll be Tommy Yarson leading us off. It's Nick Mattiucci, the shortstop, batting second. Ryan Murray is your catcher in the 3 slot. Joe Eisel is the DH batting cleanup. Kyle Mick at first base batting fifth. Mike Frisch, the left fielder, in the 6th slot. Gavin McDonald at third base batting 7th. Tommy Phillips in center field batting 8th. And Nathan Stocker in the 9 slot, rounding us out for the Middle Township Panthers, coming into this contest at 9 and 11. Upstairs for Lorick's first pitch.
Camden County Tech at 6 and 15. Lorick has 4 of those pitching decision victories, 4 of the 6.
Yarson, the junior, takes outside. 258 average for him. He's been a consistent mainstay in Middle's lineup since he was a freshman. Had 15 hits in his freshman year. He's up to 39 total, batting 258 this year, though, 16 for 62, with 3 extra base hits. Strike beneath the letters, and it's 2-1.
The one thing that makes Lorick effective, as you mentioned, is the fact that just 11 walks and 30 innings pitched. He does give up hits. He's given up 43. But when you don't walk people, you can be competitive. Only 1 hit batter for the season as well.
And I think that's why CCTS started Lorick in this game, because it's not like yesterday where, you know, maybe you could afford a loss and get back and get a chance to play in day 2. You know, this is a do-or-die elimination game, so Lorick is Galasso's best guy. He's fouled back.
Yeah, you can't play for the championship unless you get to it.
Right.
So, yeah, Camden Tech, wise decision to throw their best guy, and Yarson certainly one of Middle's best guys as well.
2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out to the leadoff man Yarson. Out of the left-handed batter's box. Late swing, tapped up the third base line and foul towards Middle's third base coach, and the count remains 2-2.
Yeah, spoiled a pretty good curveball there. Yarson doing a great job as the leadoff man, seeing pitches here. He's already fouled off a couple. Counts 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Lorick kicks and delivers. Oh, I think
Yeah, he slipped.
I was just about to say I thought I was crazy, but no, he stumbled off the mound. He was able to get the pitch in front of the plate, but it was low.
And the funny thing is, without a runner on base, he could have held the ball.
Right. And with a runner on, it would have been a balk, but no harm, no foul for now, as it's 3 balls, 2 strikes to Yarson. And a swing and a miss. Larick gets back in the count and K's Yarson his first of the day. And it'll be Mattiucci, the shortstop now for Middle, with 1 away in the first.
Letter high fastball there. Yarson couldn't afford to leave that one go with 2 strikes. Tough pitch to hit.
So Mattiucci, the shortstop for the Panthers.
It's a really, really, really good-looking young player here. This kid is going to have some career here at Middle Township, Mattiucci, freshman.
.298 average as a freshman, 17 for 57. He's got 13 RBIs, 8 extra base hits, including 7 doubles and 13 walks, and a .474 slugging. He has hit safely in his last 4 games, including 6 RBIs in his last 4. Had 3 RBIs in Middle Township's first win of yesterday's contest. They beat Wildwood Catholic 23-5, which also saw an 8-run first inning, and Middle Township put 20 hits on the board, so their bats have been hot. 1 ball, 1 strike. Larick gets a curveball that misses letter high, and it's 2-1. And as we said, to play for seeding after winning their first game, Middle Township also topped Wildwood 9-6 to have a 2-0 start going into day 2. The 2-1. Strike called. Second at bat in a row now where Larick's been behind in the count, but he seems like he's been pretty good at getting back into it. Obviously, it's very early and only time will tell, but he's been pretty effective at not breaking down when he's behind in the count. Larick to Mattiucci, 2-2 with Murray on deck. That one's high. Another breaking ball that missed it around the letters, if not just above it, as it's 3-2. Nobody on, 1 away after Yarson went down swinging to open up Middle's offensive attack. But a combined 32 runs across yesterday's contests for the Panthers as this ball fouled back. They beat Wildwood 9-6. Middle Township jumped out to a 5-0 lead in that game before Wildwood clawed back with 3 runs, but the game was more or less decided by a 4-run 7th inning. Middle Township had 9 runs, 11 hits, and 4 errors. Wildwood had 6 runs on 6 hits and 4 errors in the loss. Another 3-2 count, Larick the payoff. This ball's clubbed out to left field. This one's going to get down the line. It's a fair ball. Picked up and left by Galarza, and holding it first will be Mattiucci. So that'll be a base hit out towards the foul chalk in the left field line. And Middle Township's got a base runner with 1 away.
Mattiucci leveled off nicely on that 3-2 pitch. And gets the first hit for Middle Township.
Ryan Murray, the catcher, batting .404, 23 for 57. 7 extra base hits, 9 walks. Had 4 hits, 4 RBIs, and 3 of them extra base hits in Middle Township's, lopsided isn't the right term, but 23-5 definitely was a score that heavily favored the Panthers as he drove in 4 runs on 4 hits. Strong performance all around by the team as there's a swing and a miss. 0-2. The 2 teams that did not advance to Sunday's competition out of the pools, Wildwood Catholic lost their pool and Cape May Tech was eliminated from their pool to be denied a spot in Sunday's festivities. Larick, no balls, 2 strikes. Runner on first after a base hit. Runner goes. This ball's hitting the right field on a hit and run. Mattiucci stumbles around second and he gets going again. He'll be in standing at third. It's a 1-out knock to right field the other way for Ryan Murray. And now Middle Township with runners on the corners as Mattiucci was off and running and Murray put the perfect storm in order.
Yeah, I don't know if that was actually a called hit and run, not in that count, but obviously, Murray saw a pitch he could hit and, actually hit it to a very good place because obviously the second baseman was moving towards second there with Mattiucci on the move. And line drive hit to right field, and Middle's in business here.
Strike called to Joe Eisel, the designated hitter. He's hitting for the right fielder, Jerry Booth, but Eisel, the sophomore, 268 hitter, 10 RBIs, 15 hits, and 7 walks. Also a home run, which he hit on the 24th of April versus Pleasantville.
We mentioned this in the Lower Cape May Wildwood game, how young those teams are, and this Middle team's in the same boat. They have no seniors.
Makes it an even more projectable team in the next year if they play their cards right, as that one's outside. Adams able to slide and save it.
And they've got some good players coming as well.
With Middle led by Chris Brannigan, they won the Cape Atlantic United Division last year with a 13-9 record, 11-1 in the division. They lost by 13 runs in the first round of last year's Group 2 tournament, as there's a strike called. Second strikeout for Lorick, and there's 2 away.
Eisel didn't like that.
Well, the thing about baseball is that it doesn't matter whether you like it or not.
Exactly
you don't
right.
have a say. The batter is Mick. Middle Township last year, as we said, was the 11 seed, lost to Collingswood, who made it to the Group 2 sectional final, as that one's away. Got to be tough for a team like Middle, and really any team in this county, to be on the road in a playoff game. I mean, obviously Wildwood will have a Group 1 home game, but teams almost automatically have to travel far unless you get a Shore Conference opponent. You just head up to Garden State Parkway. It's a fly ball. This ball's hit pretty deep out to center field. Going over and making the catch will be Jose Arroyo. And Lorick gets out of the jam. 2 base hits and 2 runners on as the Panthers and the Warriors knotted up 0 after 1. Top of the second inning, Middle Township left 2 runners on in the first inning. As leading off the top of the second will be the 5-hitter in Jack McBride, the third baseman. 5, 6, and 7 for CCTS. It's McBride, Arroyo, and Elian Rodriguez as McBride takes a strike. It's 0-1. Yarson's been pretty good at getting that first pitch strike as he'll miss up and away. For McBride, the senior, listed as a utility man, but manning the hot corner today. .250 average, 3 for 12. Is played Saturday, had 2 at-bats versus Lower Cape May, and CCTS's loss to the Caper Tigers, 9-5. But has only had 7 at-bats in the month of May. Had 2 hits back on May the 11th in a win over Leap Academy, as McBride golfs one to left field. Going in, this could be trouble. It makes the catch in left field as Fritsch comes down with it. That one was almost perfectly placed between the shortstop Mattiucci and the left fielder Fritsch, but the left fielder calls him off and makes the catch while running in for the first out of the second. So it'll now be Jose Arroyo to center fielder. Arroyo, another junior on this CCTS team.
Yarson got McBride out front on that, and McBride couldn't do much with it other than sky it to short left, and the Middle Township records the out.
Arroyo batting .297, 11 for 37, 12 walks and 17 stolen bases. Now, when I think of Camden Tech and stolen bases, the name that immediately comes to mind is Kal-El Singh. He was a 2024 grad of CCTS and is now at Penn State Abington. He stole over 55 bases in his senior year with CCTS. Throw to first. Oh, he's in time. I thought he was about to call him out at first, but I was deked. It's an infield single for Jose Arroyo, and that'll put a runner on for the Warriors here in the top of the second.
Yeah, McDonald bobbled it down there at third, but McDonald's really a catcher by trade. His bat has kind of gotten him into the lineup at third base. Middle has obviously an older kid in Ryan Murray, who's a very good catcher. McDonald has played some behind the plate this year, and he does have that catcher's arm, but once he bobbled it, tough play to make, and Arroyo beat it out.
Throw back to first, not in time. Elian Rodriguez, 4 for 24 as a freshman. And while he only has 4 hits and a 167 average, 2 of his 4 hits has come in the month of May. 1 versus Triton, 1 versus GCIT. And that was in the NJ Tech School tournament for groups 3 and 4. That championship game is scheduled for Tuesday for the 5th year in a row between GCIT and Bergen Tech. That game will be played in New Brunswick. That one is low to Rodriguez, 2-0. Tech schools are interesting for the sake that they don't have the traditional makeup of a public school roster, but they do play in public school brackets. But they're also different than parochial schools, so I don't feel there's any better place to put them than in the public brackets, as the strike is called. 2-1. Strike at the letters, 2-2. Not to mention the fact that there have been several successful Tech school teams over the years, and GCIT, of course, comes to mind from this year, having a great season under Rob Eppolite. They are 3rd in South Jersey Group 4 power points as of today. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yarson throws to first. Close play, but diving back in safely.
Yeah, Jerry Booth, the right fielder, is really shaded toward the line. There is an awful lot of space in right center here.
Yeah, he's right in between the 320 and 370 signs, and then the center fielder is to the left of center field.
Right, it's shaded to left field, so there is cavernous space in right center field. And, if Rodriguez were happen to hit a line drive over the second baseman's head, ball could roll for a while.
That could be trouble. It's a pop, or I don't know where that went, but it's a foul ball. Went straight up and straight out as it's 3-2. Full count. Another throw to first, not in time from Yarson. The final score of the first game we saw today, as wind got the best of our. Oh boy. Wildwood beat Lower Cape May 6-2 as that ball gets away. Runner will get to second, and Rodriguez picks up a free pass. So Yarson dealing with some traffic, 2 on and 1 away, as the batter will now be in the 8 slot, Charles Hoke. The right fielder, he'll be followed by Cole Adams, the catcher. But a base hit by Arroyo to shallow left field. Or pardon, to third base, and then a walk as Hoke swings at a fastball, and it's 0-1. CCTS had a very talented ball player last year in Braden Falcone as the 0-1 way high, but saved by Murray. Falcone hit over 400 for CCTS as a sophomore last year, but made the jump and transferred to Cherry Hill West, which is now a hefty contender in South Jersey Group 3 in the Olympic National. The 1-1 popped up first base side. This one's going to go back behind the plate. Murray does not have a play, and it hits off the roof of the rec center, and it's 1-2. So 2 hits in the ball game so far in the early going for the Warriors, with Hoke in the 8 slot trying to get for the game's first run. Up and out, 2-2. Good eye so far here from the CCTS batters. They haven't really chased at anything too egregious, and they've taken some really good pitches here. They've gotten the benefit of a lot of them here in the first few innings.
They have a runner in scoring position with 1 out, first and second here.
That ball is going to get away. It'll be a passed ball on Murray. That ball was high by Yarson, and both runners advanced. So now both runners in scoring position here with a 3-2 count.
Yeah, I think normally when the catcher gets his glove on it, you would score it a passed ball, but I think that's got to go as a wild pitch. That was way high.
That's fair.
Murray had to jump up out of his crouch to try to catch it.
And Hoke sends this one the other way, out to second base. He'll run it to the bag for the out, but the run scores. How about a 4 unassisted ground out, as racing to the bag was Stocker, but Arroyo comes in. It's an RBI ground out, and you don't see plays like that all the time. 1-0.
I think Middle caught a break there because the ball took a funny hop and actually bounced up to Stocker. You know, the pitcher Yarson did not get over, and that was his mistake there. Stocker, when that ball popped up, was able to field it in stride and run to the bag.
So here's Adams, the catcher. He'll take a strike.
If that ball had stayed down, I think that would have been a really difficult play for Stocker to make.
Very true. Adams, the junior catcher, 3 for 27. 3 singles, 3 RBIs, 9 walks. Also had a hit in last Monday's win over Leap Academy, 17-1. Their win over Leap Academy snapped a 5-game losing skid dating back to the 28th of April. Up at the letters, and that's been called pretty consistently so far. It's 1-2. In the bottom of the second inning for the Panthers, it'll be 6, 7, and 8 with Frisch, McDonald, and Phillips. Foul tip gets a piece of the catcher Murray. Still 1-2.
Every catcher thinks they should catch that foul tip. Murray is a little frustrated with himself there.
Well, just like with all of us, they're always going to be their own worst critic. As the 1-2, Adams crushes a ball to right field. This one's hit pretty well, but it will stay up to be caught in right field by Jerry Booth, and the side is retired. The Warriors get a run home on a 4 unassisted ground out, but that one ends the inning as they get a hit, a walk, and a run scored. Through an inning and a half, it's Middle 0 and Camden Tech 1. Bottom of the second inning here from Maxwell Field in beautiful, sunny Wildwood, New Jersey, as it's Camden Tech 1, Middle Township 0. RBI ground out off the bat of Charles Hoke scored the first run of the game, and it'll be 6, 7, and 8 for Middle Township. And the Panthers in the bottom of the second inning with Fritch, McDonald, and Tommy Phillips, the center fielder.
Fritch is a kid who he only has 26 at-bats because he's gotten injured a couple times this year. He's missed some time.
He did not play from April 21st to April 1st to April 21st, and also was out for 10 days from May the 6th to May the 16th. The 0-1, is flared over towards third base. McBride unable to get this one, and it lands out of play. 0-2. Fritch in total batting .219, 7 for 32. He's walked 8 times, 6 RBIs and 2 extra base hits. He has stolen 8 bases, and that's 10 from last year as well, so 18 total.
Excuse me, I said 26 at-bats. That was before the tournament, so obviously he had 6 yesterday.
And he recorded a hit in both games, 23-5 over Wildwood Catholic. He had a hit and an RBI.
This is a kid that's eventually going to hit. He's got a nice swing.
And when you're a sophomore like him, you've got a lot of time to work on it, as that one's up. So from an 0-2 count to a 2-2 count, that fastball ran up.
Matter of fact, you don't see a lot of home runs here at this field. But he hit the warning track yesterday on a ball that was skied in the air, an eighth of an inch down the bat, and it would have gone out.
That one's high. Now it's 3-2.
Got a double out of it.
Yeah, it's a little change of pace from our junior college tournament where across the 7 games in 3 days there were 16 home runs hit. I got to get used to back to being in high school mode where, these kids hitting a home run may be rarer than in the college level. As the 3-2, that one's ball 4. Tough break.
So a walk for Mikey Fritch. Yeah, the bats are just deadened so much at the high school level now. You saw so many more home runs and extra base hits, 15, 20 years ago. The bats have been deadened for safety.
See, it's funny because I actually thought when I first started doing games 2022, 2023, there weren't that many home runs, and now in 2026 I'm seeing more.
There do seem to be more this year. You're correct.
And I think part of it is just because the players are getting stronger and they're conditioning better. There's a strike called to McDonald.
Well, I think what we're seeing a lot of too, Dan, is a lot of these baseball players are one-sport kids.
Right.
And they're playing for summer teams. They play in the fall. So these are kids that are getting, they're getting, in a calendar year, they may be getting 300 at-bats.
Right. And in addition to that, the conditioning, the training on a personal level, it's not just a hobby anymore. All these kids, most of them at least, are going to try to aspire for a college career. Meanwhile, 20, 25 years ago, that might not have been the same, but it's a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. McDonald, a freshman, 298, 14 for 47 with 7 walks. Larick, the 0-2, swing and a miss. Chases one high above the letters. That's the 3rd strikeout for Larick. It's the first out of the second inning, and Tommy Phillips, the center fielder, will bat in the 8th slot. Phillips, a junior, 279 average. Also a mainstay of this Panthers team since he was a freshman. Had 55 at-bats as a freshman, only 13 as a sophomore, but he's 12 for 43 in the current season. As a strike, 0-1. Runner on first and 1 away in the bottom of the second inning here from Wildwood.
The one thing that made a big difference in yesterday's game, Dan, when Middle beat Wildwood, is they got 7 hits combined out of, 5 hits combined out of the bottom of their lineup.
Comes a throw back to first. Runners picked between first and second. He's not committing to it. Now he does, and he's out. Bang, bang play. The second baseman, Shaw, tagged him out.
I thought Rodriguez held on to the ball a little too long, but
for sure.
That was a great tag, great catch and tag by Shaw.
And what Wildwood did right in their game earlier today was we saw them really commit to, when you get in a situation like that with the catcher back picking, just to commit to stealing the base entirely. No chicken, no rundowns, just either go for the gold or go down trying. As there's a swing and a miss. Larick now ahead in the count 1
yeah,
and 2.
Well, I think when Wildwood got those 2 kids picked off and they both reached second, you were talking about 2 of the faster kids on Wildwood's roster. Fritz is not a kid with a lot of speed. So he was just trying to I think he just wanted to try to stay in a rundown initially and make the other team make throws.
Beautiful curveball by Johnny Lorick. He's got 4 Ks in 2 innings, and a runner who was on first base is called out over at second base. We go to the third here in Wildwood. 1-0 CCTS. Pardon, CCTS, yes. Top of the third here in Wildwood, New Jersey. This broadcast is brought to you by our friends over at Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on their first attempt. You can book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman at 614 Lambs Road. 1-0 is the count to Declan Connect. Connect grounded out to third base in his first at bat. He actually fell halfway between home and first, and the throw from the third baseman was high, so he could have been safe, but his miscue cost him there as he fouls that one off, and it's 1-1. Connect, Shaw, and Lorick, the pitcher, 1, 2, and 3 in the top of the third. CCTS got a run home on a somewhat rare play, a 4 unassisted ground out in the second. Strike called. 1 and 2. Again, Wildwood beat Lower Cape May 6-2 in the first game of the day. Trevor Troiano, complete game effort. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, 1 earned run, and 11 strikeouts. Strike, outside corner. Connect goes down on strikes. And that's the first strikeout of the afternoon for Yarson. Shaw to right field. This one's hit pretty well. Going back, it's off the bottom of the wall. Shaw jogging to second base. He'll get in standing. And Joey Shaw with a 1-out double to right center field. It perfectly split the gap. And Joey Shaw, to second baseman after the strikeout to Connect, gets a 1-out double to Connect in the right center field gap. The batter is Lorick. Johnny Lorick, who has had 4 strikeouts on the mound in the early going. Single in the first inning.
Yeah, so Camden Tech leading 1-0, even though the scoreboard here at the field says it's still 0-0.
Well, for the folks at home, I don't even think that scoreboard is in our camera shot.
No,
the one on the bottom
yeah,
left of your screen is the one that matters. First pitch with a called strike. Now this one's fouled back. Wildwood hanging around, getting ready for their championship game, which will immediately follow this one, about 30 minutes. They will face the winner of this game. Lorick skies a foul. Go ahead.
By far the warmest day of 2026 here in the Wildwoods. For the people that are up in your more traditional broadcast area, they may or may not be aware. Our springs down here are generally very cool. You can get an 80-degree day up there, and it could be 63 here. But it's very warm here today. And
Larick swings and misses, gets turned around. Ball ricochets back to Murray, and the umpire is holding everybody off here. What's the call?
I think he called it a foul ball.
Looks like he did, yeah. So the at-bat's going to stay alive. He must have barely gotten a piece of it. But what I'll say is the batter ran down to first as if it was a dropped third strike, and I would have thought that if he nicked the ball foul, then he would have, contested that.
Right.
Or maybe he was just going with the flow. But, no, you're absolutely right, Brian. And first of all, the fact that this is the best day of the year so far is great because that I'm down here. It's the best day of the year so far. So, no, you're absolutely right. We've had some warm days back home in Gloucester County. That one's also well high. Skips out of the glove of Murray. He'll be able to hold on to it, and it's 1-2. I remember when we were first talking before the Pleasantville game, I said, I'm going to bring a polo. And you said, that's not a good idea.
No. You saw how
and
chilly
you ended
it
up
was that
being
night.
right. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Larick, chopper third base side, hits the chalk, but ricochets out of play, and it's still 1-2. Larick and then Galarza, the left fielder, he grounded out to short in his first at bat. So a long battle here between the two pitchers in today's contest, Yarson and Larick. 1 ball, 2 strikes. From the stretch, swing and a miss, he got him. So after having no Ks in the first 2 innings, Yarson now picks up number 1 and 2 in inning number 3.
That's a big one, obviously, with the runner on second base.
And the objective will be to hold him here with Galarza at the plate after Shaw laced a double to right center field, perfectly split between Booth and Phillips. That one's a strike called. That was Camden Tech's 3rd hit of the game, 3 hits in 3 innings so far.
Yarson's pitch count is a little high here. He's at 49 the 3rd inning.
There's a line drive to short on 1 hop, picked up, throw to first. With a good arc, it's in time, and the inning is over. So objective accomplished as the Panthers leave the Warriors runner on second base on a ground out to short. Going to the bottom of the 3rd, 1-0 Warriors. Bottom of the third inning, it's Camden Tech 1, Middle Township 0. You're watching coverage of the Southern Cape Strikeout Cancer Classic on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting in collaboration with CapeAtlanticLive.com. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Brian Kniff, longtime reporter here in Cape May County, on the call with us. Great to have him with us this weekend as our special guest, and of course Ben Wilden, our producer of Pittman High School, as there's a strike called.
That's a good pitch right there. Outside corner at the knees.
For Middle in the bottom of the third, it will be 9-1-2, Stocker, Yarson, and Mattiucci.
Stocker had 3 hits in that win over Wildwood yesterday.
Fouled back. Camden Tech 6-15. They started off 2-6 and had a 5-game losing streak from April the 28th to May the 9th before snapping it with a win over the Leap Academy Lions. That one's high, 2-2. They are coached by Barry Galasso, who is also the boys basketball coach at Camden Tech. He's been there since 2013. And he's held the position at the baseball level for the same number of years. The 2-2. Larick, popped up foul. It's not easy being a head coach in multiple sports, especially in basketball and baseball, where there's really no break in between.
Those seasons run together. I'm sure, if you have a basketball season, that maybe that happens here at Wildwood, where your season extends and you might have players on both teams. Wildwood has that with softball and basketball if they have a year where they go deep into state playoffs.
The 2-2 and wavering right through it. Tough swing by Stocker. It's 3 straight strikeouts for Larick. It's 5 total for the right-hander. And we go to the top of the order for Yarson. Now, an example from closer to our broadcast area is Sechuayo Bird. He just won the Group 3 sectional title in Central Jersey with West Hampton Tech. Now, it's even harder for him. From 2015 to 2019, he was the head baseball coach at Pennsauken. So he was boys basketball at West Tech and baseball at Pennsauken. So not only are you a coach of 2 sports, but for 2 different schools.
Yeah.
That's always difficult. Another example, Mike McEwen, Collingswood football and Collingswood girls basketball as of this year. 1 ball, no strikes to Yarson. He struck out swinging in his first at bat. Now he squares to bunt.
That's
Third
really
base side. Larick picks it up, glove side. Throw to first is in time. Yarson grounds out on the 1-3 bunt, tried to drag himself on, and there's 2 away.
Good but not great bunt. Yeah, I think he probably wanted to get a little more on that to be able to make Larick go a little further than he had to go. If Larick had to go 1 more step, Yarson might have beaten that out.
And one thing about this field in particular is that the grass is actually cut pretty short. I hate to say it, but there's a lot of high school fields who have a bad habit of letting the grass run really tall, especially in the infield.
Yeah.
And it actually plays to the team's advantage because if you drop down a bunt, it's just going to stop, and you're more likely to be safe at first.
Yeah, when you have your head baseball coach here at Wildwood, who also is in charge of this facility as the recreation director, the field's going to be in tip-top shape. This is, without question, one of the better fields, high school baseball fields in South Jersey.
Oh, for sure. I wasn't even really aware. I mean, I knew that this place existed, but I had never been here before we saw the Pleasantville game. I mean, obviously there are still amazing fields around South Jersey. I still have Alcyon Park as my number 1.
Yeah, and speaking of home fields, Middle doesn't have one this year.
Really?
So, there's renovations going on over there at their field. That's going to be really, really nice next year, but they've played a lot of road games. And they have had a couple of home games here. Wildwood has allowed them to play here. Like, for example, on days where Wildwood has had an away game, Middle's been able to play a couple home games here. But a lot of times they've been going to the visiting team and being the home team.
Okay.
So it's kind of tough.
Yeah, because you have to play a certain number of home games in your Cal National division. That one's low. 3 balls, 1 strike. Let's take a look at the Cal National standings. Now, PowerPoint's locked in today, but your standings, Absegami and Egg Harbor tied for the division, 14-8 for the Braves, 16-10 for the Eagles. Holy Spirit at 12-10, Buna at 11-12, Middle Township 5th at 9-11, Lower Cape May at 10-15, and Oak Crest at 6-18. 3 balls, 1 strike. And a big swing and a miss that time, or pardon, the 3-2 was a swing and a miss. The inning is over. It's a half dozen strikeouts for Johnny Lorican through 3. Camden Tech, they're not leading by a lot, but they have a lot of the momentum on their side. We'll be right back. McBride leads us off in the the top of the 4th inning. I have to stop looking at that scoreboard in left center field and just trust.
Trust Ben's got it.
I have to trust myself, yes. We always trust Benny Wilden. McBride, Arroyo, and Rodriguez, 5, 6, and 7 for CCTS in the top of the 4th inning. As Yarson delivers. McBride grounds one low. Oh, Walt talked about a bad hop of bad hops into left center field. McBride stops, and that's a base hit that, man, in many other ballparks, that would be a standard ground out, but that ball took a careening of its own, and it's a single for McBride for his first hit of the game. Yeah, Mattiucci was in great position for that, and right as he was, getting down into, the proper positioning to field a ground ball, the ball just took a wicked hop and went right over his head. Nothing he could do about that, so that's a bad hop single there, and Camden County Tech has their first base runner on. We've got a runner trapped. McBride to second. The throw is not in time. Mattiucci was adamant that he made the play, and here comes, I believe, their head coach, Samson Gerner, or at least out of the dugout. Yeah, well, I guess he just wants an explanation. It's tough to it's really tough to question judgment. Right. And he is getting an explanation on this. Yeah. Now, we did one Division III NCAA baseball game this year between Rowan and Rutgers Camden where actual replay review was used to determine a play at the plate. And not to be pompous about it, but we actually had a better angle than the, quote, official video from Rutgers Camden. Oh, that's not surprising at the Division III level. It's not like they have 20 cameras. Yeah, they available. Had one behind the plate, and ours was closer to the field. But by definition, because we weren't official for Rutgers Camden, we weren't going to use. They weren't going to use our video for the replay. But I thought it was fascinating because it's just a part of baseball technology and how it's evolving. As Arroyo fouls it back, it's 1-2. So McBride on second, nobody out, and Arroyo, who had a base hit in the second, is going to try to extend the Warriors' lead. Up and in, Arroyo. A couple of things go against Middle in this inning. They have the bad hop single, and then they think they have the runner picked off, and he ends up beating the tag to second base. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. And Yarson, strike three outside corner. That's the third
pitch
for Yarson, and there's one away. So the batter is now Elian Rodriguez, the freshman for Camden Tech. Yarson dealing with a runner on second after a single by McBride. He advanced to second on a convoluted play on a pickoff attempt.
The winner of this game plays Wildwood. Game's scheduled for 4. I doubt we're going to make that start time.
Hey, we were only about 15 minutes off of game 1 and 2.
True.
So,
true.
Like I said, I told you off the air before that in our triple header on Thursday, the games were scheduled for 12, 3, and 6 as Rodriguez fouls it back. The first pitch of game 3 was at 7:35 p.m. and we didn't get out of there until 10:30 p.m. I'm just glad we don't have a 7 o'clock game tonight because that'll mean I won't get back home until midnight. Got an hour and a half drive to get out of Wildwood. 1 ball, 2 strikes. High and away, Yarson on a breaking ball.
You could be dealing with some traffic going home, too. It was a crowded weekend down here with this weather.
And I think some people are trying to get their last days of sanity before Memorial Day weekend as Rodriguez, he was tagged out by Murray. Home plate umpire calls it as such. And that's out number 2. So no strikeouts in the first 2 innings for Yarson, and he's now picked up 4 in his last inning and 2/3. As the batter will be Hoke. He drove in the game's first and to this juncture only run with a 4 unassisted ground out to second base.
Yeah, that was the play where Stocker ran into the hole and then took the ball himself as no one covered the bag because Kyle Mick, the first baseman, went for the ball as well, and the pitcher Yarson didn't get over.
That one sails past Murray. McBride on his horse to third. It takes a strong carom off the backstop, but it is a wild pitch, and Murray able to save that one at least for as long as he could, and McBride 90 feet away from being the game's second run.
Yarson's had some trouble today with that curve. He's thrown quite a few of them high. He's got to work on that release point.
Fouled back. By the way, a programming note for those at home, we will put up the link, the broadcast link for Game 3 as soon as this game is over so that everybody knows who is playing in which final. Just YouTube doesn't like when we put a placeholder up there as the 1-1 outside.
Well, obviously we know Wildwood's in the final, 6-2 win over Lower Cape May, and a terrific day by Trevor Troiano, a complete game with 11 strikeouts, no walks. And he also became the program's single-season all-time hits leader.
Runner trailing off of third. Strike called to Hoke on the inside half, and it's 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on third. For the Panthers in the bottom of the 4th, it'll be 3, 4, and 5, Murray, Eisel, and Mick. Two. Hoke, line drive to short. Couldn't have placed that one any better as Matarucci makes the play and the inning is over. Camden Tech held off the board and going to the bottom of the 4th, 1-0 Warriors.
Book Dog Pro Wrestling for your next event or outing for the greatest action that New Jersey Pro Wrestling has to offer. Any place, any time, any setting, Dog Pro Wrestling will bring the action to you, and you won't want to miss it for moments like this. But don't just take it from me. Take it from Max Mundo, the Dog Pro Wrestling ambassador.
This is Max Mundo with Dog Pro Wrestling. Are you a civic organization, sporting club looking to fundraise? Then look no further to Dog Pro Wrestling. We do grand openings, corporate events, and much more.
And why not from some of the wrestling talent themselves?
I'm Vinny the Fixer, and I'm the champion of Dog Professional Wrestling. If you want to book the best, come see us. We're the cream of the crop. We'll come to any fundraiser you can think of. Just name the place, and we'll show up.
This is the upstanding Dylan Mesh, and for the entirety of my professional wrestling career, dog wrestling has been a mainstay for where I like to wrestle. So you can believe me when I say that it is quality. And I'm upstanding. I'm the only opinion you need.
Yeah! It's your boy Gabriel Hodder here with my man Matthew Oman. And if you want your events to be all fight, no flight,
then book Dog Wrestling so you can witness true primal fear. Woo!
If I have another one, it'll be in that bag, and I'll grab it at the end of the game. All right, go ahead, Ben. Bottom of the fourth inning, it's Camden Tech 1, Middle Township 0. Johnny Larick's first pitch. Strike called to Murray. 3, 4, and 5 for the Panthers in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Really good curveball there.
Larick, 6 strikeouts in 3 innings. Low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Murray had a base hit in the first inning. Middle Township had 2 hits in the first inning but failed to score. Murray clubs the ball but foul down the right field line. This is going to land in the field, but too far for Hoke to grab, and it's 1-2.
We saw Vinny Fusco-Sweeney make an unbelievable catch down the right field line in the 7th inning of the first game. Sliding catch in foul territory.
With a lot of foul ground here, I'd say at least 20 to 25 feet from the chain link fence to the foul chalk. As it's 1-2. Outside, 2-2. The 2-2 from Larick. This one's hitting the left field over the head. Oh, was hit pretty well to left center as Connect. This one gets bobbled. Now Murray's going to test his luck. He'll go to second. The throw is wide. The ball is still loose in the infield. Larick picks it up. And it's 2 bases for Murray. I think that would go down as a hit and an E7.
Yeah, and I think Murray took a chance there. I think a good throw gets him at second base. But that throw was offline. And now Middle in business here, looking to at least tie the game here in the bottom of the fourth as they get their leadoff hitter to second.
And the batter is Eisel. But Camden Tech, led by Johnny Larick, I mean, that's the first error in the field. Larick has done quite well, 6 strikeouts. He's been pretty reliant on that breaking ball. He's gotten a lot of hitters to swing and miss. In fact, all but 1 of his 6 strikeouts have been swinging. Strike called. Eisel showed bunt, pulled back. But the home plate umpire made the call regardless. It's 0-1 on the outside half. Here in the Southern Cape Classic, winner faces Wildwood at approximately 4 o'clock, maybe say 4:15. 1 ball, 1 strike from Larick.
Yesterday, the games here at Wildwood every game ran on time.
I think there were a few lopsided mercy rules, though.
Yeah, the games at Lower Cape May yesterday, the one game ran really long. They didn't start the second game till almost 5 o'clock.
Wow. And what was the scheduled first pitch?
4.
Wow, okay. Bunt up the first base line. Smart move by Adams, held off on it. And it ends up paying off as it's a foul ball. It's 1-2.
Look, I know Middle has not generated much offense so far, and they trail 1-0 in the 4th inning. Eisel's batting 4th for a reason. Yeah, I'm not, so using him to try to sacrifice to move a runner along.
Yeah, I'd certainly want him to
me.
Give him a little bit of an extra pop in his swing.
Well, and he's a younger kid. He's a sophomore, but I would say, especially early in the count, let him swing away and try to hit the ball to the right side.
1-2. Strike 3. Outside corner.
Good
7
curveball.
Ks. And Eisel is down looking for the second time today. It's 1 away, and the batter is Mick. Now behind us, Tommy Yarson is warming up to stay fresh in the. There's half a batting cage, half a bullpen, and he's having a catcher with him to throw some pitches with, so he is making sure that he is still fresh to go in the middle innings. Larick looks back, shortstop egging him on with Connect. Outside to Mick, who flew out to center field as the last out of the first inning. Now, Brian, you were talking about Middle Township using this field for a handful of home games. How far is that from Middle Township High School, if you could guess?
They're about it's about a 15-minute ride, maybe less.
Like I said, you know this area much better than I do. It's like when we did a game in January at Warren Hills in Warren County. Our guest commentator knew so much about that area, and it was just a lot of new info for me. You can only do so much research.
Another good
in
curve.
A place you've never been. Good curve and a good foul as well. 1-2. So Larick dealing with a runner on second. Murray singled to left field, but a botched play and left by the left fielder had it as a single E7. And Larick will step off and regroup before the 1-2 to Ryan Mick, or Kyle Mick, pardon.
Larick was fortunate not to get called for a balk there. He actually moved his front foot first before he stepped off.
He'll step off a second time. Now Cole Adams is going to talk to him. This broadcast is brought to you by the South Jersey chapter of the National Adult Baseball Association.
I wonder if he thinks, when I say he, I'm talking about Larick. I wonder if he thinks that that the runner on second base is giving signs to the batter, and he wanted to call his catcher out to kind of, mix up their signals a little bit here.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away. Tying run on second, and Larick delivers. Yeah, even if you're not sure that he's stealing signs, it's probably better to err on the side of caution and have Adams and Larick switch it up.
It's funny, like some people think it's an advantage. I know when I played, I wouldn't want my teammate doing that. I got enough to worry about. I'm going to go out there and look at you giving me signals, and you might not even be correct.
The 2-2. Popped up. Rodriguez lets this one go out of play. Look out. Still 2-2, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I was a hitter, I'm going to be honest. If I was a hitter, I probably wouldn't even be looking at my second baseman. I wouldn't pay any mind to him.
Yeah, the guy on second, no, I'm not going to look at him either.
I'm going to be watching the pitcher and the pitcher only. Time is called by the batter. So the long at bat continues, still 2-2. Mick flew out to center field in his first at bat. Fritsch will be next. He walked to open up the second, but was out via a pickoff. In Middle's quest for their first run of the game in the middle innings. The 2-2 jammed, but foul, and this one will again ding the roof of the Recreation Center.
I could be wrong. That almost looked like a changeup. It didn't have the same action as his curveball, but it was certainly not thrown as hard as his fastball has been. That was a pretty good job by Mick to foul that off and spoil it, because that pitch was definitely a strike.
And he looked a little bit ahead of it as well, but again, we've said it ad nauseum in this game. 2 strikes, swing at anything close. And he did swing at something close, but this time he swung and missed. 8 strikeouts for Larick. CCTS's coach coming out to give the umpire more baseballs. It's back-to-back strikeouts. There's 2 away in the 4th now for Fritsch. Michael Fritsch, no at-bats yet, just 1 plate appearance. He walked in his first at-bat, his first plate appearance. And the 2 men after him, in fact, the next 3 men after him in the 7, 8, 9, all struck out at the hands of Larick in their first at-bats. Big swing, but a miss, and it's 0-1.
Big spot here for Fritsch. 2 outs, runner in scoring position, Middle trailing by a run. Ryan Murray a hit, and then advanced to second on an error on the same play.
Outside for Larick, 1-1.
Larick has kind of befuddled the right-handed hitters of Middle with this curveball. Fritsch certainly, as a lefty, could get a better look at it.
And he does. This one's fouled back.
That was a fastball right down the middle. I think Fritsch would like to have that one back.
It's 1-2. 8 strikeouts for Lorick. At 2 or more in every inning so far. In fact, he's had exactly 2 in innings 1 through 4. And he's going to look for strikeout number 9 here at the hands of the 6th batter. The 1-2 popped up back behind the plate and out of play. 1-2.
That was a curveball he fouled off there. If I'm Lorick, I might try to run a fastball right around his letters here. See what happens.
Still 1-2. Middle looking for their first run of the game.
Fritz calls time. He got tired of waiting. Never want to stand in the box that long. That's a good job there by the sophomore.
Some baseball IQ on display as Connect looks back at second, and that one's high, 2-2.
Was a high fastball, but a little too high. And Fritz wasn't going to bite on that one.
It's got to be nice living in those houses beyond right field. Can just go on your balcony and watch a baseball game.
Certainly.
Well, it doesn't seem like anybody's sitting out there today. The 2-2. Strike 3 call.
Wow.
9 strikeouts for Johnny Lorick. And the black, blue, and gold are rolling through 4. It's not by much, but they have been dominant on defense as through 4, it's 1-0 CCTS. Welcome back. In the top of the 5th inning, 1-0 CCTS. This broadcast is brought to you by the South Jersey chapter of the National Adult Baseball Association. 20 teams across 4 divisions, highly competitive baseball from coast to coast in South Jersey. Visit SouthJerseyNABA.com for registration information for the fall season with opening signups on June 1st. The batter is Adams, the catcher. 9-1-2. And Adams ropes this one to right field. It will stay fair. It takes a right turn and lands in front of Jerry Booth. It's a leadoff base hit at the bottom of the order, and CCTS gets on the board in the 5th with a single off the bat of Adams. We go to the top of the order now for Declan Connect.
I believe this is the 2nd straight inning that the Warriors have gotten their leadoff man on. And
that is correct, and they've recorded at least 1 hit in every inning so far.
That's big in terms of, they turn the lineup over. You got your leadoff hitter up with a runner on and nobody out.
So Connect 0 for 2. Ground ball to 3rd in the 1st. Strikeout swinging in the 3rd. Middle could be looking for a double play ball. I say that, but in this environment, double play is certainly hard to turn at the high school level, at least consistently. I don't think I've seen that many double plays all year, to be honest. As connect, ground ball. This is deep in the hole. It's short. He'll throw to second. The ball gets away, and he got pulled off the bag.
Yeah,
so no out recorded.
A difficult play for Mattiucci. Yeah, he's going deep in the hole, trying to flip it back to second base, and he pulled Stocker off the bag.
So if I'm correct, that should be a fielder's choice with no out recorded. 6-4.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, that could be a throwing error.
I might score that a hit. I think that's a difficult play for him to make. He's certainly
even if his target was at first base.
He has no shot to get the runner at first on that ball deep in the hole.
No, I think you're right. I'll score that a base hit.
Yeah.
Shaw will be the batter. Shaw cracked a double to right center field.
Mattiucci, I'm sure, will tell you he should have made the throw, but I wouldn't call that play anything near routine.
The 0-1 to Shaw. Both starting pitchers still working in this low-scoring affair.
I'm actually surprised Shaw, the two-hitter, wasn't squaring the bunt here, but he's got a 1-1 count now. Middle still has its first and third baseman in, just in case.
That one is low, 2-1. The on-deck circle will be Lark, the pitcher. He struck out 9 batters through 4 innings so far. The only run in this game has been an RBI ground out off the bat of Charles Hoke in the second inning. Up and out, and it's 3-0 quickly here to Shaw. But no action for Middle Township.
3-1 actually, he did foul off a pitch.
Right.
Yeah,
and
3-1.
Scoreboard reflects that. It's 3-1. But beautiful day here in Wildwood. Just below 80 degrees, it appears. That'll be ball 4. 5-pitch walk for Shaw. And he will now reach for the second time in as many plate appearances.
Yarson's pitch count was high early, and then he had a couple innings there where he kind of got through quickly. But he's now up to 77 pitches, and Camden County Tech has the bases loaded with no one out.
So 2 singles and a walk. And the Warriors have a chance to get some runs here as a ground ball stopped at short, diving play, throw to the plate, it gets away. One hopped off the glove of Murray, and an excellent play is for naught as the run scores. Larick brings that one in, and it's now 2-0 CCTS. A fantastic play on the infield grass with the infield in. But unfortunately, it's a moot point as the Warriors go station to station, and it's 2-0.
And with Mattiucci leaving his feet, he probably didn't realize he had more time than he thought, and he kind of rushed the throw, and it bounced.
And how do you think you'd score that?
No, I think that's got to be a fielder's choice.
That's what I was going to say.
An error. It's a harsh error, but he did have more time than he thought. He kind of scrambled to his feet quickly, threw it low.
And I think that's the intensity of the game at its finest right there. I mean,
sure.
he absolutely thought that, maybe the runner from third was breaking quickly. I also thought that ball was going to get through into the outfield. So the fact that he did stop it was admirable enough. And it's a 2-0 count. Nobody out, run across for the Warriors as now Galar's on the ground. Chance for redemption. Throw to the plate. Oh, that one gets away. Another short throw from the shortstop Mattiucci. Back-to-back plays with a miscue. And the Warriors now lead 3-0. Wow. That one really seemed like that one was a lot easier. And that'll be a throwing error on Mattiucci that drives in the third run as now McBride is up station to station for CCTS with nobody out. Ball outside.
That last play there, Dan, I thought Murray might have done better to come get the baseball and then tag the runner.
Right.
He tried to hold the plate and reach and scoop that, and it made it a difficult play.
And it wasn't that, it was kind of close at home, but he still had a few steps to his advantage. Yeah. Move maybe a step to your left.
It's tough, and you don't know what Murray saw. Maybe he thought the runner was a lot closer, and that was the only way he could get him. But I think if he had it back, he might say, you might say, go get the baseball and then try to tag the runner.
McBride fouls it off. It's 3-2, but in baseball and in all sports, hindsight is 20/20. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, and Yarson in some trouble here in the middle innings. That's ball 4. Oh, pardon, 2-2. I apologize. I got to look over my laptop more because you know who's got it? Benny's got it.
Benny's got it. The scoreboard in this game has been all over the place. On the field, that is.
McBride fouls it back.
Good job fouling off a tough pitch. That was a good pitch there by Yarson.
Am I crazy to say that I'd rather have a no scoreboard than a scoreboard that doesn't reflect the accurate reflection of the game? 2 strikes. Nobody out. Bases loaded. Pitch to McBride. Strike 3. Whoa. Outside corner, McBride does not like it. And he's still looking back at the umpire, and as much as the Warriors dugout probably disagrees with it, they're going to avoid any trouble here by kind of chastising him back into the dugout.
The first base coach just came in and said, knock it off. Don't talk to the umpire.
Fly ball by Arroyo, left field. This is a flare, and it's a foul ball by a hair. Well, because remember, if you get thrown out of a high school game, it's an automatic 2-game suspension.
Yes, it is. Well, the one thing that you do see sometimes in baseball, which I actually think is good, if an umpire wants to remove a player from a game, he'll go to the coach. I'll just use a number, for example. Coach, take number 10 out, or I'm throwing him out.
Right.
So
kind of an ultimatum.
That he doesn't get the 2-game suspension, but he gets removed from the game.
Right. The 0-1. We had a situation.
Oh, that ball was called a strike.
0-2. We had a situation late in April with Rob Christ, who's the head coach at Eastern, and Galasso didn't like that strike call either. But he's the coach. He has a little bit more leeway than the players do. But Rob Christ had a very controversial game versus Bishop Eustis where, let's just say there were a lot of things going on in the game, and he was accusing the umpires of not protecting his players, and more or less by the 5th inning, he was not ejected, but he was asked to remain in the dugout for the rest of the game, so he was not on the base paths. And I don't know if the application of a 2-game suspension will be the same for a coach if he were to be thrown out than a player. I don't know how that works because I've never seen a coach thrown out of a high school baseball game. The 1-2 is outside. But after that strikeout, that's the 5th for Yarson, and it's one step closer to stopping the bleeding here as CCTS has added on some more runs in the 5th. The 2-2. Strike 3 outside corner.
Pitch.
Back-to-back K's looking. Arroyo goes down on strikes, and Elian Rodriguez, the freshman, will bat. 3-0 CCTS. They've scored 2 runs this inning.
Yeah, but they've had the bases loaded with nobody out still after getting those 3 runs, and now they're at 2 outs. This would be big if Yarson can get out of this with just giving up the 2 runs. There's 2 runs are in, and the Warriors had the bases loaded with nobody out still, and now he's gotten 2 straight strikeouts.
Murray walking the ball back out to the pitcher, Yarson. Like we said, I don't see anybody warming up down the left field line from middle. And nobody behind us either.
Yeah, there's nobody in the cage either, so.
And I think the thinking is if you're middle and you have to play the second game back-to-back, you probably want to save as much of your pitching as you can. It's just like in the junior college tournament. If we're going to get a change in bats here.
Rodriguez wants a different bat.
Huh. I don't see this too often in high school.
Maybe he didn't like the sound of the foul ball off his bat. Maybe he thinks something's wrong with it. Or maybe, you never know, he could be going to a lighter bat. He couldn't get around on Yarson. Yarson does throw hard. He's probably close to 80 with his best fastball.
Fouled back.
And now, if you're Shaw at third base, you got to really be on your toes here. 0-2, and this could be a curveball pitch here. And, you want to get that good jump, try to get this one in the dirt.
The 0-2 outside.
Was a curve.
CCTS 3, Middle Township 0. Middle looking to get on the board, but the first order of action is to get out of this inning. The 1-2. Foul back, stays alive, off the paneling. It's still 1-2. In the on-deck circle, if the inning continues, is Charles Hoke.
Rodriguez did a good job of getting to that high fastball there to get a piece of it. Yarson is now up to 96 pitches.
The 1-2. Looping breaking ball outside. Took a really high arc that time and missed in the other batter's box. They're just outside of it. It's 1-2. Pardon, 2-2. Bases loaded. On third base is Shaw. The pitcher is on second. They haven't had a courtesy runner for him, if I'm correct. I believe that's still Larrick over at second. No, I'm sorry. No, that is a courtesy runner. That is number 10 in Aiden Daugherty. I just didn't see the change. And then at first base is Galarza, the left fielder. Ball four, and a run scores.
You must have some Irish in you, Dan, to call him Daugherty. That would be the Irish way to say it. Here we would call him Doherty.
Well, you would be correct. I think the Irish part of me is why I put on so much sunscreen today. Is bases loaded
That's
still.
why I'm under the tent.
See, that's why I'm only a quarter Irish. I don't need to be under the tent. Batter is Hoke. Bases loaded walk and a 3-run inning. This is the 9th batter of the frame. There's a strike called, 0-1.
And again, we have this outfield formation. Booth is over really toward the line in right. And there's a big gap in right center.
The 0-1. And we've mentioned that before.
Pitch.
It's a beautiful pitch by Arson. We've mentioned that before where Tommy Phillips is playing to his right, to our left of the 385 sign. And then Jerry Booth is almost perfectly split between the 370 and 320 signs in right. That one's away. And as you said it in the first inning, it's, I don't know what the word was, but a massive gap in right center.
Cavernous.
Cavernous, there we go. I almost said carnivorous, and I'm like, that's not right. I got to get my dictionary out as the 1-2. Yarson with the bases loaded, 3 runs across, and the pitch.
He's out.
Strike 3.
Yeah.
Outside corner, Hoke goes down on strikes, and the inning is over. So 9 batters, 3 runs, and a bases loaded walk, and CCTS pads their lead. Going to the bottom of the 5th, it's 4-0 in favor of the Warriors. Jeppelite, he's, again, one time leaving the bases loaded is frustrating enough. Doing it twice in a row. Oh, how about this? Line drive. No, he's throwing it around the infield. They're going to throw him out at first. He's out. I have never seen that before. That is a 5-4-3 ground out because the third baseman thought he caught it. The home plate umpire said no, so he threw it around the infield and then got the out at first anyway because the batter thought he was out.
The batter stopped. The third baseman thought
Everybody
he caught
stopped.
it, and it touched.
Doubleheader reached first on an error in the first at-bat of Game 2.
This one's lined into center field. Slider going over. He dives. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. Ryan Slider makes the catch. Not on a slide, but instead on a dive. 2 away.
Bottom of the 5th inning, 4-0 CCTS. Dan Wilkins Broadcasting stats presented by Rowan College of South Jersey. This is the first DWB appearance for both Camden County Tech and Middle Township, as Lark's first pitch is low, 1-0.
Now, the one thing that you wonder about here, Dan, is, that was a long inning. We're now in the 6th, and how will Lark react to, just a different rhythm to the game? He wasn't out on the mound for a long time there.
The 1-0 is grounded high to third. McBride is there. Throw is in time. Tagging the bag is Rodriguez, and there's one away as McDonald grounds out to third. It's 7, 8, and 9 for Middle in the bottom of the 5th.
Apropos, on a Sunday afternoon, a Sunday hop right there for the third baseman. And a pretty easy play by McBride.
So the batter will now be Phillips, the center fielder in the 8th slot. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Strike called, 0-1. CCTS added 3 runs with 9 batters. The bases were loaded for the majority of the inning. As a line drive skips off of McBride's glove on a diving effort in the left field. Phillips stops at first, and it's a 1-out single for Middle as they search for their first run.
Yeah, you're down 4-0. There's no way you're going to try to stretch that into a double down 4 runs. Shaw looks like he's shaking up a little bit down there at third base when he dove for that ball. But he pops up now. He looks like he's okay.
Yeah, McBride, who had a nice few plays earlier in the game.
I said Shaw. I'm sorry. You're right. McBride, yes.
All good as he made that diving play. I might have barely heard that ball skip off his glove. If it did, it was right on the laces. But the first pitch grounded off the mound, skips into center field, a base hit. Phillips will be on a base hit out of the 9 slot.
Yeah, that's big. They got 2 runners on here with the top of the order coming up. And when Middle came to the plate this inning, I'm sure that's something they would have, really wanted to see. When you're 7, 8, 9, if you could get a couple guys on, now you're turning your lineup over. And a big spot in the game right here.
So Middle Township looking for their first run of the game. And they get off to a good start with 2 base hits out of the 8 and 9 slot. And on the first pitch, this one is up off the bag. It hit the bag and into left field.
Wow.
McBride slid for the ball feet first, and it was behind the bag, but the ball landed in front of the bag, and the bases are loaded for the top of the order in Barson.
That's an unfortunate break for Camden Tech, and a good break for Middle Township, because I think McBride at the very least knocks that ball down and probably gets a force out at third if it doesn't hit the base. He was certainly in position.
So 3 straight singles, and now you set it up for Tommy Yarson. Yarson wanted to call time, and
the umpire wasn't
granted it, but then the pitcher stepped off anyway. So kind of mutually agreed time. The first pitch, Yarson gets a piece of that one, and it's 0-1.
Well, this is Mattiucci here. As Yarson got the base hit.
I apologize. I was one guy off.
Yeah.
That's what happens when I take too long to update my scorecard. But 3 straight hits.
And Mattiucci with a couple of throwing errors in that last inning. He would love nothing more than to try to make up for those with a base hit here.
Good
Middle
crowd
has yet to
joining
score.
us. Good crowd joining us on hand here in between games 2 and 3.
Curveball in the dirt there. It's 1-1.
So with Mattiucci at the 2 slot, he's 1 for 2.
Shaw, the second baseman, is really playing up the middle on Mattiucci.
That one is low.
Yeah, and I don't think Larrick's been as sharp, and I wonder if that long layoff, because of that long inning that Camden County Tech had.
And right on cue, Barry Galasso is going to come out and talk to him.
Yeah, that was a long inning they just had, and they were a hit away from really breaking the game open and never got it. I mean, give Yarson credit; he ended up walking a runner in, but he also ended up getting 3 strikeouts with the bases loaded. And an inning in which Camden County Tech scored 3. I'm sure they tell you they should have scored more. I mean, after having 2 runs in and nobody out, they only got the 1 extra run on a bases loaded walk. Never put the ball in play the rest of the inning. Well, if they get 1 big hit, the game might have been broken open a little bit.
Well, Wildwood is back on campus here for their game. They'll face the winner of this game, so got to imagine they will be paying attention here for the final few frames in a 4-0 ball game. But with Middle threatening, ground ball off the glove of McBride. It might have hit his foot. It's going to bounce to second base, and the run scores. So Mattiucci on a pinball base hit to third base. Again, I think that hit off of the foot of McBride. That caromed too aggressively for me to think it hit his glove, but Middle at long last is on the board at 4-1.
That looked like it went off his shin. Yeah, and again, that's a play there where if he fields cleanly, he gets an out.
And the run scores. It's now 4-1 as Ryan Murray will bat.
And Middle has barreled some balls up this inning, Dan, which they weren't doing early in the game.
And now this one on the first pitch.
This is going to be
Keep
trouble.
the hits coming. Throw to first in time.
Oh, he dropped it.
Oh, he dropped it. Run scores. Here comes another. He's safe. 2-run score. 4-3. Welcome back, Middle Township. They're within 1. A catastrophic play at first base as a ground ball that was tough anyway was dropped by the freshman Rodriguez. And after 4 dormant innings, Middle Township has made this a 1-run game. And that's the second time that Murray has reached on an error. But this time, it's a penalty like no other, as it now puts us within 1 with Middle Township knocking. But what an aggressive approach. We've now seen 5 straight batters reach base for Middle, not to mention 3 straight at-bats where the batters swing on the first pitch.
Yeah.
Middle's wasted no time.
Yeah, and they got a big break on that ground ball that hit the third base bag earlier in the inning. Middle did.
Time called at the plate.
Yeah, Larrick does tend to really, slow things down when there's runners on base.
The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 2-strike count on Joe Eisel, who has 2 strikeouts, both looking. With Johnny Larrick with 9 total strikeouts in his effort today, but he's trying to escape the biggest jam of them all, and already a lot of damage on the board. Fouled back.
Good curveball. Good job by Eisel to foul that off. That was a good curveball.
So still 2 strikes with 1 away. After him, it'll be Kyle Mick, the 5-hitter, who's also 0 for 2. Middle has not recorded a hit in any batter through the 4 through 7 slots. The 0-2, jammed foul.
Now, if you're Larrick here, I think you got to throw a fastball up above his hands here. He just threw 2 curveballs that he fouled off.
And it didn't seem like any of them were intended to be waste pitches. Those all seemed competitive.
Yeah, I think he's got to go back to his fastball here.
100% agreed. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 away, 2 on. That's what he goes for.
A high fastball and got him. 2 outs. It's a big strikeout there for Larrick.
I think you would be a good baseball coach, Mr. Kniff, with that kind of knowledge as he gets his 10th strikeout, and you called it perfectly. Fastball above the hands, and he picks up his double-digit strikeouts with 2 away. And Middle Township still, though, with the tying run on second, go ahead on first. And all it takes is just a couple of swings, and that's how it's been in this inning. Started with a ground ball to third by McDonald, and then 4 straight hits from Phillips, Stocker, Yarson, and Mattiucci. That brought in the first run. Runs number 2 and 3 came in on a fielding error by the first baseman, Rodriguez. Someone's up and in. 1-0 to Mick. He's 0 for 2. Fly out and a strikeout to his name.
Maybe go to his curveball here.
Fastball, another swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. But Lorick with 10 Ks so far. If he gets an out to end the inning, he'll continue, a strikeout to end the inning, he'll continue his streak of 2 or more strikeouts in every inning that he's pitched today. But who knows how far his rope will reach for the Warriors.
Good pitch.
Strike outside corner, 1 and 2. In the top of the 6th for CCTS, after they batted 9, it'll be 9, 1 and 2. Adams, Connect, and Shaw.
Lorick's now up to 92 pitches.
It'll be a tough spot here for Barry Galasso to see who he will turn to. The 1-2 outside. Adams saved it. And in a 1-run game, can't afford to move those runners over, so a good stop by the backstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 8th batter of the inning for the Panthers in the orange and white. Time called.
What you like about Lorick is he's really working at his pace, really slowing down when he has to.
And pitchers don't really have that liberty anymore in many levels with the clock. As a swing and a miss.
A big strikeout.
Johnny Lorick, 11 strikeouts in 5 innings as a huge way to get out of it and preserve the lead. But 3 runs come across as Middle Township puts together a string of 4 hits. We go to the 6th inning. It's CCTS 4, Middle Township 3. Top of the 6th inning. New pitcher for the Panthers is Joe Eisel, the sophomore. He's the DH in the cleanup spot, so now the DH is removed. The pitchers will have to bat for the remainder of the game, although considering it's the 6th, it's probably a moot point at this point. But a 6.20 ERA for the sophomore. 20 and a third innings, 22 walks, 27 Ks. That one missed. His last appearance was yesterday through 11 innings versus Wildwood.
That was actually called a strike, Dan.
Oh, 0-1 part.
Yeah.
I didn't see that from the home plate umpire. Sorry, 11 pitches versus Wildwood. Adams on the ground. He'll make up for it with a base hit in the left field.
And Adams started the last inning when Camden County Tech scored 3 runs with a base hit out of the 9-hole.
So starting where he left off, he's now 2 for 3. And the Warriors have a runner on for Connect. Connect in the leadoff spot is 1 for 3. Strikeout, ground out, and a base hit as a part of that 3-run 5th inning. But both teams traded off 3 runs, and we're back to where we started at a 1-run game. That ball goes right out of the glove of Murray. Runner will get to second. That's a courtesy runner at second. Trying to get a look at his jersey number, I apologize. Number 4. That is on the ground, back to the mound, throw to first is not in time. Connect is safe, and the courtesy moves to third as now a big insurance run is only 90 feet away. And now we'll send up Shaw, who had that double.
Well, the courtesy runner, and unfortunately, when we were given the rosters, it was only last names and first initial. His last name is Drayton, and he's not listed on their roster online at all. So, unfortunately, we don't have his name. But he's the courtesy runner at third. Now it's first and third with nobody out.
Oh, here we go. He held on to the baseball, and he is safe. Didn't get the tag down at second.
Well, Eisel threw the ball to the wrong player. He threw the ball to the second baseman. That ball should have gone to the shortstop.
Yeah, I didn't know what happened
at the
there.
bag. So second and third, nobody out, and Camden County Tech looking to extend its lead here.
Fly ball by Shaw down the right field line. This one is going to drop out of play. It's 0-1. Shaw has reached base twice, a double and a walk to his name today.
Big spot in this game here.
By the way, the gentleman's name is Colby Drayton.
Okay.
But we have no further statistics on him. Had to do a quick Google search for that, but
attaboy.
Research on the fly. Base hit.
That's a great
in the right
swing.
field. Shaw gets it down. Scoring from third is Drayton now coming in. The throw is wide. 2-run single for Shaw. And CCTS is back with a 3-run lead, 6-3.
Shaw did a great job there, not trying to do too much with it. Just dropped the bat head on it, drove it to right field. Textbook hitting right there by Shaw.
So
that can be a little demoralizing for middle. They get 3 last inning, get right back in the game, and now still with nobody out, Camden County Tech puts two more on the board to extend their lead. Now, the one thing that's going to be interesting here, Dan, is that Larick is, I believe, at 94 pitches for Camden County Tech. So it's unlikely he's going to be able to finish this game. So they're going to have to go to another pitcher at some point.
I'm curious if they're just going to let him work to the brink.
Right.
We got a pinch runner at first. Now, Shaw is the second baseman, so this is not a courtesy.
This is Jake Hamilton, a freshman. There's the courtesy runner.
And now this ball is hit to short, picked
Might
up.
be a double play.
This is to first. It's a double play. 6-4-3 started by Mattiucci underhand flip to Stocker, throw to first is in time, and that clears the bases for out number 1 and 2, with Larick grounding out into the double play. We'll now see Galarza, the left fielder. And what a momentum shift after the 2-run single by Shaw to get pinch run for, and then 1 pitch later ground into a double play. As on the first pitch again, backing up on it is McDonald, throw to first, head first slide, and he's out. Bang, bang, play at first. But you know what? I think Galarza was over the bag. I don't think he was on the bag.
First of all, you should never slide into first base unless you're avoiding a tag. Never slide in the first.
100% agreed, but they still do it anyway, right? And the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 2 runs across, 6-3, CCTS. Six to 3, CCTS added on 2 more runs in the top of the 6th inning. It'll be McDonald and Phillips, 6, 7, and 8 for the Panthers as they trail by 3 in the 6th inning. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Brian Kniff of CapeAtlanticLive.com. Our producer, Ben Wilden of Pittman High School. Got a good one today and had a good one in our first game as it's 1-0 to Frisch.
Significantly cooled down here at Maxwell Field. Breeze is picked up.
I don't mind it at all.
No, it was actually a very warm day here, and it actually about an hour ago it got a little buggy around here, but now the breeze is picked up, so the bugs have gone, and skies have clouded up a little bit too.
That one's inside, 2-1. Frisch is 0 for 1, walked in the 2nd inning, struck out in the 4th. Frisch out of the left side. It is still Johnny Larick in the game. Up near 100 pitches, as there's a strike called, 2-2. He has struck out 10 batters in the game, and I've mentioned it like a broken record, but that's because it's impressive. He struck out 2 or more batters in every inning he has pitched in this game versus Middle. Here's the 2-2. This one's fouled back. Lands in front of us, and it's still 2-2. In the on-deck circle is McDonald, the third baseman.
I think based off of that swing, I might try to throw him a 2-2 curveball here. This will be Larick's 100th pitch. He did throw the curve. It's in the dirt.
So the centennial pitch makes it 3-2. And if Frisch walks, A, it would be a second of the game, and B, you really don't want to set another comeback back in motion because you got out of the woods with a 1-run lead last time. You don't know how much of a vengeance Middle is going to come out with in the 6th. There's a line drive. Fair ball. Just past Rodriguez in the right field. He'll round first.
Oh, boy.
Hoke, this is going to be a tough play. The ball rolls into second base. It's a double for Frisch. Yeah, and the Panthers lead off the 6th with a double.
I didn't think it was a great decision by Frisch, but the ball eluded the cutoff man. And, once – and I don't know – I couldn't tell from here if it was a bad throw or if the second baseman just missed it. But once that happened, Fritsch was never going to be thrown out at second base.
I feel like if you ask me, this game has been full of scenarios where people shouldn't have done things, but they get away with it anyway.
Well, welcome to high school baseball.
Right. But I feel like we're seeing more of it in this game than I have seen in others. That one is high. Fritsch was the only batter not to grab the bat in the 8-batter.
Yeah, and it's pretty obvious that Camden County Tech is going to run Lorick all the way to the pitch count limit.
I feel like that's the best case scenario for them. As
this
ball's hit out towards center field, going back. It's caught. Runner tags. Throw is cut off. Throw is going to get away. It hits the dugout, and it is going to go. Did it go out of play?
It did not go out of play. Lorick was able to grab it in front of the fence, and again, I'm not sure that was a great decision there too. I mean, you're down 3 runs. So that 90 feet doesn't mean anything. I mean, that's really a risky play there, a good relay throw, and Fritsch is out at third base.
Agreed, and I would say as
and
well.
I think the coach has to hold him up there.
Yeah, I would say that, and also I thought the ball was out of play at first because I saw the umpire put up his hands, but he was just signifying that the play was dead as a swing and a miss.
Yeah, I think when Lorick ran over and grabbed the baseball, he immediately asked for timeout and was granted it by the umpire.
A double and a flyout set up Phillips. He's 1 for 2. It's the 0-1. Strike call, 0-2. In the on-deck circle is Stocker, who's also 1 for 2, also with a strikeout and a single. Middle Township put up 4 hits, 3 runs across 8 batters in the 5th in a 3-run comeback. As a swing and a miss, there's 12, an even dozen for Lorick.
And that was big because he got it done in 3 pitches. He's at 105 now, so he has 5 pitches left.
And this might be it. Well, actually, no, the pitching coach is coming out. That's what I think this preparation is for. Make sure that he has the right idea and probably informing him, because I can't imagine. Maybe I'm wrong, but I can't imagine the pitchers are constantly keeping an eye on their pitch count. He might have been informing him, hey, you're at this many, you have this many left, this is probably your last batter, something along those lines. Strike called outside corner.
Stocker's 1 for 2 with a run scored in this game.
Had a base hit, came around to score in that inning. 4 straight singles out of the 8, 9, 1, and 2 hitters for Middle Township. No balls, 1 strike. Quick meeting between the third base coach and the batter Stocker. The 0-1.
Really good
call,
curveball.
0-2.
Man, that's your 106th pitch of the game, and you're dropping a curveball in like that. That's really, really good.
And he's had a lot of lateral movement on that breaking ball. It's not like a 12-6. It's actually more like a traditional curveball.
I think, again, you go upstairs with a fastball here.
If he gets it, it'll be 13 on the day, but he'll step off. Lorick, if he gets this out, it would be 6 full innings, and CCTS would be all but forced to bring in a new pitcher for the innings number 7. Strike 3 outside corner. Start cooking them in the kitchen. It's a baker's dozen. Johnny Lorick, 13 strikeouts, and he goes into the 7th inning with a 3-run lead. He holds the runner on in scoring position as we go to the 7th. Camden Tech 6, Middle Township 3. Top of the 7th inning, this broadcast is brought to you by the dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, or Dog Pro Wrestling, New Jersey's premier pro wrestling organization with high-flying events throughout the Garden State. Visit dawgprowrestling.com for more information.
All right, so
McBride takes a strike.
Lorick actually was at 109 pitches at the end of the inning, so he is done, I believe.
No way you can't, right?
In
Fly
theory, he could come out for one more batter. There's a ball down the left field line. And it's a foul ball. We kind of lost it. I don't know if you could see it from where you were.
No chance.
Yeah. By rule, Lorick could come out and face one batter, but I don't think they'll do that.
Yeah, I feel like the difference between in theory and in practice is at full effect here.
Yeah.
Ryan Murray is over at the middle dugout, and now he's heading back, but there was a couple middle coaches that were over near the door.
Well, it looked like one of the players who went for that, and again, it's down that left field line where we have a tough time seeing. It looks as if one of the players for middle may have run into the fence and injured himself a bit.
Oh, wow.
Going for that foul ball. So we have a delay, and the trainer is running out.
And again, we don't have any real sight line down there to the left of the 320 sign, so hopefully everybody's okay down there. Brian's going to go get more information, but we'll stay here. Although trainer is running back, player is staying in the game. I think that might have been the left fielder Frisch, but there were a couple players running over in that vicinity. And we will resume with an 0-2 count to McBride. It's McBride followed by Arroyo and Rodriguez, 5, 6, and 7 for CCTS. Ready to go. The 0-2 up and out from Isel, pardon, and it's 1-2. Did we get any update on the player, Brian?
No, everybody's okay. They all ran back after their positions. So,
strike 3.
Great pitch.
Outside corner.
By the time I ran over to try to figure out who it was, the players were all starting to run back to their positions. It might have been the third baseman, McDonald, who ran into the fence down there.
Yeah, it was probably either McDonald or Frisch, the third baseman or the left fielder.
Arroyo
drops down a bunt. Bobbled by Isel, throw to first is not in time.
Arroyo can really fly. I still, because it wasn't the greatest bunt. I thought even with the bobble, Isel would have a chance at him, but obviously Arroyo can really run. And he ends up beating that out.
We mentioned before he has 17 stolen bases this year, and of course that also applies to his work in the batter's box. He had 17 as a sophomore.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they try to run here. They haven't tried to run much today, but you have a 3-run lead. I think you be aggressive, try to get him the scoring position.
And there you go. Ball was way up, way in. The ball is loose, and I think that hit Arroyo on the way down on the throw from Murray.
Arroyo, it was almost like a delayed steal. I mean, he did not start running until Murray almost caught the baseball.
Yeah.
And Murray had to wait a moment for one of his infielders to get to the second base bag, and that kind of threw the timing of the whole thing off, and it wasn't the most accurate throw.
1-0 to Rodriguez, now stepping off, shuffling, but no throw back to second. Strike called, 1-1.
Good
Rodriguez,
good fastball there.
2 walks and a strikeout in this game. He's 0 for 1. Runner on second base. Arroyo, as we said, picked up his 18th stolen base of the year with that steal. 6-3 Camden Tech inside. Rodriguez ducks away from that one.
Got to wear that one.
In this situation, for sure. I mean, in any situation, but obviously put runners on first and second, send up a guy in Hoke who drove in the first run of the game, give him another shot at it. Someone's inside, 3-1. Again, the winner of this game will play Wildwood. It's scheduled for 4 o'clock, but at this juncture, I'm thinking around 4:30, maybe 4:45, which is the nature of baseball. Can't always dictate the pace of the game as the 3-1. Rodriguez foul.
Made a good swing at that.
what I'll also say is that Johnny Lorick, you mentioned it at several points, he has done a great job of controlling tempo and his own pace. He hasn't let the opposition or even his own team really pressure him into moving quicker. He just kind of goes at whatever speed is best for him, and he really slows it down with runners on. The 3-2. Strike three inside corner. Rodriguez down on strikes. He disagrees with it, but that is now the second strikeout for Eisel in relief. Both looking. It's 2 away now for Hoke.
Hoke
Talk about wearing one. I think that got him right in the back, although he was holding his wrist for a second.
Yeah, that was a little strange. I agree with you. Yeah, it looked like it hit him in the back, but then he.
I mean, you heard the thump.
The thing I'm wondering is, did it hit his elbow? You know, and it, you get that funny bone thing that goes down to the hand. I'm not sure, but that was a little strange.
So he's now walking back towards home plate. Wildwood's athletic trainer, Perez, still coming back out. And Adams will be the batter, but not before Hoke has attention paid to him, and he is favoring that right arm and elbow. So sometimes hit by pitches are really the toughest pill to swallow, if you will, just because, like I said, it sounded like it might have hit him in the back, but with how loud of a thud that was.
Yeah.
And they're gonna walk him back to the dugout, and they're gonna get a courtesy / pinch runner for him. That will be number 2. And that is the last guy on the roster, at least on our lineup. That is Chase La Rochelle.
Adams has done a nice job out of the 9-hole today for Camden County Tech. He's 2 for 3.
And both of those hits led off the respective innings. He led off the 5th with a single that ended up sparking that 3-run rally, and did the same in the 6th, although Middle did not score. Ground ball, to short. Throw to first is in time. I was saying Camden did in the inning, as there's a ground ball to end the inning. Eisel gets out of it, and Adams the last batter. Last swings for Middle, going to the bottom of the 7th. 6-3, CCTS. Bottom of the 7th inning. We were for sure that Camden County Tech would not bring Johnny Lorick out. But at 109 pitches, Barry Galasso and his coaches have decided Give him one more shot. Now, at the maximum, he can only throw to one more batter. Now, they did bring out Jacob Wiseman alongside Galasso, and we can presume that that would be who replaces him after this batter.
So, yeah, Larick, it's a 110 pitch limit, but you are allowed to go over on your final batter as long as you start before 110.
Strike
and
called. And
on pitch 110, he drops in another beautiful curveball for strike one.
If this pitch count limit didn't exist, I think this kid could go 120, 130 pitches. I mean, he is a workhorse.
Another good curve. That's called low.
It's 1, 2, and 3. Yarson, Mattiucci, and Murray.
Middle needs 3 at least to force extras. 4 to win.
The 1-1 inside, but specifically for Larick.
If you're Yarson, you got to wear that pitch right there.
And force him out of the game. 2-1. He's thrown 30 innings this year, and as the senior, this will be it. Ground ball to short, diving stop, it gets through into left center field, and Yarson will chase the pitcher out of the game with a final base hit. It's Yarson's second of the game, but this workhorse, Johnny Larick, 13 strikeouts, and a very nice ovation from those who made the trip from Sicklerville to Wildwood. Jacob Wiseman will replace him. I mean, this kid has done a lot for this team. He gets pats on the back, and he's actually he's going to stay in the field. 13 pitches? And he's going to stay in the field. He's going to take over at first base. This is going to take Rodriguez out, and the new pitcher is Jacob Wiseman. When we return, go ahead.
I was going to say, Dan, Wiseman actually, this is interesting because Wiseman actually pitched 3 innings yesterday against Cape May Tech, but only threw in the early rounds of the tournament here, but only threw 28 pitches to get through those 3 innings. So that makes him eligible to pitch today. But it's interesting. You have a kid that threw 3 innings yesterday, now coming in relief.
Well, we'll be back after the break. It's Jacob Wiseman when we return. Well, Jacob Wiseman is the new pitcher. He has not had too much experience on the mound, but as you said, Brian, he has had a lot of experience in this tournament. He only has 4 2/3 innings, and as you said, he pitched versus Cape May Tech as there's a fly ball left field on the first pitch. Going over, trailing back, and making the catch is Galarza. That's out number 1.
I think Mattiucci will, as he gets more experience there, you're bringing a new pitcher in. I want to see a pitch first.
100%.
Yeah, and that happened to Wildwood yesterday when Middle brought a new pitcher in. Wildwood had 2 straight batters with runners on base hit pop-ups on the first pitch.
By the way, I stand corrected. The 4 2/3 I was referencing was before the tournament. They have not put in their stats for yesterday.
Right.
So he has 7 2/3 this year.
But he pitched 3 scoreless innings yesterday against Cape May Tech.
That was his longest appearance of the year. He had 2 innings on April the 1st versus Gloucester City, but it's a strike called. Wiseman has only had 2 at-bats at the plate, so mostly a pitcher-only kind of guy, which is somewhat rare to see on a team this small. but time is called.
Murray calls time. Yeah, I mean, when you're in your third game in 2 days, sometimes you have to go to that fourth, fifth, sixth pitcher, and now you have a kid in a big spot who's only thrown a little over 7 innings all year.
Ground ball. This could be 2. Connect to second to first. Double play. Welcome to the finals, Camden County Tech. They down Middle Township by a score of 6-3 as a 6-4-3 double play ends Middle's hopes of a Cape May County finale. Instead, go ahead.
I was going to say, you know what? That's a really good play by Connect, because you know what he did, Dan? He did not rush that throw from short to second. He's got it's very smart play. He's got a 3-run lead, and he knows in his mind, let's just get 1 out. And he made just a nice delivery to second base, and the second baseman Shaw, just a terrific turn. And obviously they have a catcher running in Ryan Murray, and they're able to turn to double play. But really, that was started very nicely by Connect, calm and composed. Let's make sure we get 1 out, and then a terrific turn by Shaw to get the double play.
Well, out of the 6 teams in this tournament, 5 of them are in Cape May County, and the one that isn't will play for a championship in 30 minutes. It's the Camden Tech Warriors and the Wildwood Warriors in the finale, as the Warriors down Middle Township by a score of 6-3. Your player of the game will go to Johnny Lorick. 6 innings, 13 strikeouts, and only a handful of walks in a spirited win as Camden picks up their 7th win of the 2026 season. That'll be all for us in Game 2. Tune in about 30 minutes. We're going to put the link up right away so you can share it with everybody if you wish. Camden Tech and Wildwood, we're going to have to distinguish them by their logos because guess what? Both of them are the Warriors.